Things are about to get huge in January 2020. My oh my, Battlefront 2 is doing so well right now. January is going to be huge, like I've said. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. I'm just going to get right into it. I have to say, first of all, from a personal perspective, I've never been so excited for Battlefront 2 content. I did a lot of constructive criticism in the past, and I think Battlefront 2 is really at that point now that I always wanted it to be. I genuinely do enjoy putting in the game into my Xbox and playing. Mainly Galactic Assault, Capital Supremacy and HVV, but yeah, from time to time I try out the other modes as well, and overall I'm just loving it right now. But that controversial point, Droid Heroes, well, the controversy is about to hit us. It may be this week, maybe next week. We still, as I'm recording this, don't have a date, but I am going to talk to you about when I believe the date could be. Now, although things have been a bit all over the place when it comes to dates lately, I do believe EA and DICE are going to go back to Wednesdays for these release dates, which gives us 2 release dates for the new Droids and Capital Supremacy for the sequel era. These are the possibilities of the 22nd of January and the 29th. Now, I originally believed that the 29th was just way too far away. It's well over a month after The Rise of Skywalker has released, which obviously this new content is based off. The 22nd would have also have been a month after release, but not too much. But with the devs still being on vacation by the sounds of things, the absolute silence from the community manager Ben Walk, I am leaning more towards the 29th of January for a release here, which is unfortunate. But if we go back to January 2019 with the Count Dooku update, this was a similar situation. When we first started getting like these new heroes, Obi-Wan, Grievous, you know the drill, Count Dooku was actually the first hero to not have any promotional images released of him beforehand. Even the update release times were all over the place with the Count Dooku update in January last year. Xbox ended up being first, I believe, which at the time, I know Xbox got The Rise of Skywalker first, but at the time that was just very obscure. Like, it was always PC then PS4. There was no images released. And yeah, the Dooku update was kind of all over, so I could see that being the case here once again. Do I agree with the preparation that goes on behind it when it comes to these January updates because everyone's coming back off vacation? Not necessarily. Maybe they should just not do a January update, but they've confirmed one, so I'm leaning towards the 29th of January. Let's do a quick recap of what we know is coming. Now, among many hero changes, no doubt, and bug fixes, which isn't confirmed, but we can pretty much guarantee that is going to be on the list. We're going to be getting heroes BB-8 and BB-9E, which I'm personally excited about. I'll get onto that in a second. We're also going to be getting Capital Supremacy debuting in the sequel era with Age Unclossed, the new map, and also Jakku, which, judging by the images that we've seen, it's just going to be the Galactic Assault map for Jakku. It could possibly be classed as a new map because they do make minor changes here and there to the environmental clutter, but for the most part it's an already existing map. Now, it's still unknown what BB-8's abilities are going to be, although you could determine things from the trailer, like he's got some sort of rope ability, I believe. BB-9E we've not even seen an image or gameplay of yet. But this is another thing that makes me think the update's going to be on the 29th, because we've got a lot of community transmissions to go through here. We've got the Droids, Capital Supremacy for the sequel era, and okay, while it is possible to do that in a few days, it would be very rushed. And I think with the key preparation that they've shown in the past few months, especially with this game, they'd be wanting to avoid anything looking a bit out of place, a bit rushed, so I think once again that goes to support this update being on the 29th. But Droid Heroes, it's a controversial topic, and I hope, but I don't know if they're going to go down this route, that these are kind of different heroes. I actually want the name Heroes to be dropped with the Droids. I want them to be called Droids. Now, let me get one thing out here straight away. When people bring up the point like, oh, you're going to see BB-8 killed Darth Vader or BB-9E killed Luke Skywalker on the screen, look, I wouldn't worry about that too much. We have ordinary soldiers killing these big name heroes, so why can't a droid do that? I would go to say that if you put a normal specialist, let's say, and then a droid next to each other in the Star Wars world, so I'm talking about one of the BB droids, that the BB droid could potentially come out on top depending who the soldier is. So I wouldn't read into that too much. It's a game at the end of the day. But look, I don't want to see these droids in Heroes versus Villains. I don't want to see them in Heroes Showdown. especially Hero Showdown. Imagine you have a team of like, let's say Rey and Anakin, and then on the other side you've got Vader and you've got BB-9E. So it's two life-size normal heroes versus a villain and a droid. I don't want that. That's why I just want to split these guys up. Do a droids category. We could have R2 come to the game one day with, no doubt, one of the evil Empire droid counterparts. I don't know any names of them off the top of my head. I'm sure you'll be able to name them all in the comments section. In Galactic Assault, absolutely fine with the droids being a thing, same in Capital Supremacy, but at a lower price, given they aren't as good as the 4,000 Battle Point heroes, and if they're better, then that is a serious problem because they shouldn't be better. In my opinion as well, the reinforcements should technically still be better than these droid heroes. I don't know if that's the route they're going to go down. I have a feeling the droids are going to be better than the reinforcements, but look, I'd put these guys at maybe a 2,000 battle point cost. I have a feeling, going off EA and DICE's logic, that they're going to put these at 3,000 because they know if they put them at 4,000, you're just going to have comments like, how is BB-8 and Anakin on the same level? That makes absolutely no sense, which I definitely see that here as well. But look, your average reinforcement is usually from about 200 to 400 health. With buffs, it can be a bit higher. I could realistically see these guys getting like 400 health max. I think BB-8 and BB-9E will get the exact same health and exact same health regeneration as well. Maybe 50 health regeneration would be fair because you don't want the droids just tanking it out on the battlefront. They're going to be fast as it is. They're going to be hard to hit. It's going to be like Yoda, very hard to hit, except these guys are going to move like 100 times faster than Yoda. So I would say, I think they're going to be 3,000 battle points. I think they're going to have realistically about 400 health, but if it was up to me and how I would balance these things, I would say 2,000 battle points and give them like 150 health. They are droids at the end of the day, and although I think in a one-on-one situation they could beat the average soldier, could they beat 20 soldiers at once? No. Could they beat the heroes? Definitely not. Are you going to see droids finishing off Vader? Like if Vader's on 100 health maybe, yeah, a droid could come in and definitely finish off Vader, but you don't want these guys taking down the villains and the heroes from 100% health all the way down to 0. A bit like R2 in Battlefront 1, he was available in the Death Star DLC only, and he was more of a support character. He wasn't dominating, destroying all the villains, destroying all the troopers. He was there to support, and if these heroes, like they're supposed to, or droids as I'm going to refer to them as, do act as support, then I am 100% for it. And I think another point I've brought up in the past as well is that it is completely normal to have a droid companion with the hero. Look at Luke with R2, look at BB-8 with Rey. All these different examples, even R2 with Anakin, 3PO with Padme, although I think 3PO is a protocol droid, wouldn't really work in the game. I'm bringing up the point that our heroes do have droid companions. I don't think in any way it's obscure to be seeing these droids on the battlefront. I hope it's a situation like Nyan Num and Greedo in Battlefront 1 where nobody was looking forward to them and then they turn out to shine, because they are definitely going to be unique. I wish I could get into the heads of every single Battlefront player and just make you love this idea, because I think it's an extraordinary idea. It's very creative, and it's something I personally couldn't even see coming. And usually a lot of DICE's moves are very predictable, but even this I just didn't see coming. Is it an easy way out of not having to design heroes like Poe and Hux from the ground up? Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. I thought Poe and Hux were likely in terms of the first sequel heroes we were going to get after Phasma and Finn. I don't think they were likely coming to the game as actual on-the-ground heroes. But I'm glad we're getting droids over those two. Just going to be two of a blaster-wielding heroes. They're not the greatest of characters. It's up for some debate, but I don't think anybody's going to be crying over Hux and Poe not coming to the game, or Rose potentially. The list is endless. I think we've got who we need from this sequel trilogy. Unfortunately, a lot of the characters aren't as appealing as the prequel trilogy, and once again that could be up for some debate, but I think the fans are more interested in seeing Ahsoka, seeing Padme, and it's risky to be adding just another blaster wielder with Poe and Hux, another officer, and it's like, come on at this point. I think the droids will act very differently. And touch on Capital Supremacy a bit as well. I was skeptical about Capital Supremacy, admittedly, at first, coming to the other eras, because I thought it was a nice way to say, well, we can't give you era-specific playlists, it's just going to divide everyone up a bit too much, but here's a mode for Clone Wars only, because we know it's the most popular era when it comes to this game. However, things have gotten stale. I mentioned this in my last video with Clone Wars, and I am looking forward to it. I'm still furious I can't play Felucia on console without cutting issues, but at the end of the day, this is exciting, and it pretty much confirms that OT Capital Supremacy is coming as well. So Capital Supremacy support throughout the year, I'm really hoping for. If you watch my video about how I think 2020 was going to go, I think this year is going to be pretty much focused on Capital Supremacy and bringing more reinforcements to the game in the form of the original trilogy. But that is the January update. A lot going on. I'm pretty excited. I really am excited for this. The dynamic these droids are going to move the game in. I just can't wait to see how things unfold. I'm praying for the 22nd for a release date, but I'm leaning towards the 29th being a more realistic date to go for. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for all the support recently. And yeah, let me know which piece of content you are most excited for from the January update. I'm going to say BB9E, just because he was like one of the parts I really liked of The Last Jedi, and I didn't like that movie, but he just looks so cool and underutilized. Wish we saw him in the Rise of Skywalker. He's technically not Rise of Skywalker content, but he is the man or woman for me. They don't really have genders, droids, do they? We're going to end up in a mess here if we continue with that conversation. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.